I'm officially on sabbatical for spring 2025. So what is sabbatical? For us academics who have tenure track positions in a university, for most of us, we get a sabbatical every 7 years, and so that sabbatical is 1 semester at full pay or 2 semesters at half pay, where you're supposed to spend that time really focusing on one of your research projects, or if you're at a heavily teaching institution, perhaps focusing on creating some new courses or course materials. For accountability, a lot of times universities have you write some kind of report when you return about what you did. Perhaps there's a presentation to your department or school, and some research universities might really be focused on accountability and producing realistic outcomes. However, for a lot of people that go on sabbatical, maybe they don't get to do what they said they were going to do, and maybe they do kick back a little too much. But that's not me. I have so many projects that I want to work on, and so I'm so excited to have this time to really focus on some projects I have going on my back burner. My last sabbatical was in 2017, the fall semester, and that is when I started my research on digital nomads. So I went to Europe, I went to Spain and Portugal, I attended digital nomad conferences, I attended a digital nomad retreat for women, and I interviewed 40 people, and I ended up publishing a lot of articles and 1 book on that topic. And so for this sabbatical, I do intend to re-up my research on digital nomads, and this time I'm going to Southeast Asia, and I hope to go to co-working spaces and meet more digital nomads to interview, as well as expats. I'm also interested in looking at tattoo culture in Asia, and so while I'm in Southeast Asia, I really want to explore the tattoo community, go to tattoo shops. I would love to interview any tattoo artists, and I saw that there's one tattoo convention in Vietnam, so I plan to attend that. And while I'm in Asia traveling around, I don't want to be some tourist that's posting pictures about what cheap food you're eating or what kind of cheap lodgings you can get, but I really want to read books about Southeast Asia from a sociological or historical perspective and do some long-form videos about those books so that I can educate myself about the places that I travel. I do my research on tourism, digital nomads, mass tourism, over-tourism, but I would really like to focus on educating myself sociologically about all the places that I travel to, and so I really challenge myself to read books about those places and to make videos and content about that as well, and to teach about those places in my class called Global Cities. Digital nomads is only one of my research topics, and so I have other projects that I've been working on over the years that I would love to put together into some book proposals. And so one of the topics that I'm interested in pursuing as well, and that I would love to meet folks who I can interview, is on the status of professors and the workplace. And so especially looking at diverse demographics of people working in this industry, especially at every level, from graduate students, adjuncts, temporary positions to tenure track positions, and how the academic workplace is changing from the perspective of the workers. So I would love to interview folks working in academia at every level and really focus on that as a workplace and put a book proposal together for that topic. Another book project that I would be interested in putting together in a proposal is on qualitative methods. I've interviewed and researched so many different kinds of deviant, niche, marginalized communities, and each one really offers interesting perspectives on unique challenges with conducting qualitative inquiry. And so I would love to put together a book where each chapter focuses on one of my field sites and the challenges that come with that particular field site. So a methodology book on qualitative methods would be another project that I'd like to put together. Another project that I'm working on stems from the Queercation conference that happened a few years ago that brought together queer tattoo artists as well as people of color and other marginalized tattooists and allies, where they came together in Santa Fe at an indigenous-owned hotel and participated in skill sharing activities and workshops, and I'm in the process of interviewing people that attended that conference, and I would really love to put together another book on the topic of queer and marginalized tattoo artists, following, of course, my previous book on women working in the tattoo profession. I think this would be the great next step for that. And also, the tattoo community and industry has changed a lot in the last 10 years. And so this particular demographic brings new focuses to the tattoo industry. On a more personal level, I'm going to spend time during my sabbatical on really immersing myself and continuing my Cantonese language learning, but I'm also adding Mandarin to the mix because I really think that it just makes more sense to study both at the same time. I already have a few years of studying Cantonese, so I have a tiny bit of foundation in that language, my heritage language. But Mandarin is just, more widespread, of course, and it provides more perspective on studying the Chinese language in general. And it's just a lot more accessible, and I have more Mandarin speakers in my life. So, and I definitely want to travel into China a lot more in the future. And so what better to start to learn Mandarin and Cantonese and then really plan some trips to China so that I can use that language. And of course, I'm going to put a lot more time and effort into creating videos for YouTube. And so I'm going to really focus on creating a lot more YouTube videos because I want to create a space for public sociology and get more information out there about what is sociology and what it can offer to the public. So I want to focus on more long-form book overviews, but as well, I want to interview more sociologists who are writing really interesting books. And I want to create a lot more videos about applied sociology, and so taking sociological theory but applying it to happenings in everyday life. Of course, I'm at the very beginning of my sabbatical, so I have a huge, long list of things that I want to get done, but hopefully I can just get to some of these projects and hopefully something will take off. If you're interested in any of those topics, definitely drop a comment, send me a message, let me know. And if you're someone that I could interview on any of the topics I mentioned, I would love to talk to more people within these topics.